Tana Storani, your international career consultant, again with an amazing interview. This time we have a Dutch recruiter, Bianca, and she's going to talk about very strategic information and insights from the Dutch market and the Dutch recruitment processes. Thank you very much, Bianca, for being here.
Yeah,
sharing our knowledge.
For having me here, and I'm pretty excited to share my knowledge, and I hope that everyone can take a slide out of it, and with him or her home.
Cool. So if I don't know if you want to start to talk about a little bit your experience, if you want to, just to people understand, like if you're an in-house recruiter or a headhunter, because there are differences, right?
Of course, and they are indeed. So currently I work for an online food delivery company, takeaway.com. It's similar to Uber Eats, and basically we are globally working, and we have our, let's say, several countries in Israel. I think we just merged with Just Eat together in the UK, and
what?
Yes,
no.
we became now the biggest online food delivery market. So I'm very proud to work at this company.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
No, okay, now you're big.
So basically, I work here in the headquarters in Amsterdam, the Netherlands, and I've started my career as a sourcer. Yeah. So I worked, I think that's now 4 years ago, as a recruitment consultant. I started my career there as a research consultant, better say. So I basically started at zero to analyze CVs and to basically look really what a company needs based on a CV or on the experience, of course, because a CV doesn't say everything, but basically this is the first scan. So I've started a little bit from a sourcing background. Then I did my international management and business studies, and then basically I started working at takeaway.com, and that's now over 2 years.
That's nice.
Yes, and basically I've recruited almost, I think, 70% of the positions that we have within Takeaway. So I've seen a lot, even though 2 years is not that long as a time, but well, this company is a hyper-growth company, so I've seen quite some vacancy. Exactly.
And how do you feel about the Dutch market? Is a market that recruits many foreigners or only Dutch people? It's like a mix.
It's a good question. So it's quite mixed. You can see me as an example. I speak now already Dutch, but for most of the bigger companies that you find, English is office language. So you have a very American approach. And that's what I like. So that was also for me, as back then as a candidate, for example, very, very nice. Of course, it's lovely if you have a additional language that helps, of course. So I speak 3 languages, and that's of course very good for directors or but in that way it's very international. So I think we have now with Takeaway over 100 nationalities. So
wow,
it's really nice to see people from all over the world working in the headquarters. And this is something as well that you can see at booking.com, for example, or Adidas, Nike is here, but also other bigger firms, ASICS. So we have a lot of retail companies here that all kind of come to the Netherlands, of course. Now, even unfortunately with the Brexit, but that's lucky for the Dutch people. Bigger international companies come here. So also, for example, Tesla has its headquarters here. In Amsterdam. Wow. So it's a very, very international environment. So I think candidates shouldn't be worried, or job seekers to go to the Netherlands.
Yes.
You can do.
How it works the visa process? I don't know if you are aware of the Dutch visa process, because in Ireland we have a kind of different system. It's like stamps, like stamp 1, 2, 3, 4. But I know each country in Europe it's a bit different.
Mm-hmm. So basically, well, if you come from the European countries, you don't have to worry at all. So you can just enter, and that's pretty easy. For all the others, it's a little bit more complicated, but and there's a great support behind there. Most of the companies, if you apply somewhere, they basically take care of your visa process.
All right, that's good.
So and that's also, of course, I think very good to ask before or research if you apply somewhere in the Netherlands, if they will take over the process.
Okay.
For the rest, it's it's always basically that you have to apply. They will check how much of this labor force they have within their own country, or if this is something that they can outsource, so get in.
Okay.
So it's really depending on what function.
I understand. I heard the Dutch market hire a lot of temporary employees. It's very hard to actually hire a permanent employee, right?
Yes,
that's the laws. They're very strict.
Exactly. So, for example, and that's just what I'm very surprised of, or when I came here, because of course I came here as well as a foreigner, so I didn't know everything. But when I came here, it's mostly that you get 3 contracts, and most of the time yearly contract. And after the 3rd contract, they basically need to give you a permanent, or unfortunately need to withdraw you from the employment. So these are so but most of the time, I mean, the most companies give it to you earlier, of course. So it's really something that you need to consider, or basically live with that. But after basically you get always you can get after 3 contracts, you need to get a permanent contract. That's the labor law.
That's what I heard. And even like with the temporary contract, the company can apply for the visa and can go through all the process. Like in Ireland, that's not possible. To get a visa sponsored, you have to have a permanent position, which is different in the Netherlands.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why if you are already here, you can ask. So and you want to switch jobs, for example, or my contract ends now with this company, and a candidate wants to apply again, that's possible. And then the company will apply you again for a visa.
That's very good. Very interesting. What are the good attitudes or best practice in interview? Like the general, how do you see like real examples like of a good interview and a bad interview?
Yes,
because you interview a lot of people every day, so there are some like kind of behaviors that you go like very good, some others you go like talked about badly about the company.
I think what I would like to see, that a candidate basically knows also when to stop, or to be very precisely. If you don't understand the question that the hiring manager or the recruiter ask it again. That's also very important. Don't lose the red thread. So stay, and don't try to always recheck with the recruiter or the hiring manager if he's still with you. Because sometimes you talk a lot, and if the hiring manager also asked you the question, for example, a very general question, of course you can talk for 20 minutes, but this is not the way. So try to be very detailed, but still very short.
Yes.
And what I like is always that, well, I think that's a very, very important. Don't talk in interviews about we did this project and we worked on that. Basically, you know, if you worked at LinkedIn, don't say, yeah, LinkedIn did that the whole time. Talk about your work.
Oh,
so talk,
okay.
talk about yours. Yeah, well, talk in the form of I did that and I did that, because I mean, it's nice that you all work together on that project, but what was exactly your work within this project?
Yes.
What have you done? So I think this is something very important and what I really look at. So then you know the person really did the job.
Yes.
And then further give examples. So well, as a that's now I have to give an example, but so tell really about
using the star technique. I always say the star technique with the sample.
The star technique, I think maybe it's not, it's a good one, but also it cannot predict everything.
Okay.
But I think the example giving is a very fine thing. So
not give the like a general process or so tell me about a time when I had to deal with a difficult customer. We deal with difficult customers all the time, and generally what we do with difficult customers is this and that and that. This is a general answer. A very detailed, specific answer would be like, there was a time when I used to work at Amazon as, I don't know, digital marketeer, there was this specific client, there was this specific issue, and the way I dealt with this was doing A, B, C, D.
Yeah.
That's good, right?
I dealt with this situation. So
I did that. I called the client. I worked together in a team, but I worked in my team to finish this project.
Yeah, exactly. So good. I think that's very good. And then the hiring manager will or the recruiter will see that you've done the work.
That's good. And what's not to do in an interview, like no go, never ever do in an interview, like talk bad things about the previous company. Ask for salary.
I wouldn't say that you shouldn't ask for salary, because I mean, you work for salary.
Yeah.
So you need to do. Yeah, I think. Well, I'm always try also in the first conversation to basically ask for salary.
Okay.
Because I think it's also a waste of time if the differences are that big.
Yeah.
And I know if someone is really seeking for a job, it's not only one job most of the time, but 20. Yes. So I don't want to waste our time and the candidate time. And also it can give you a good idea what directly what you're aiming for. And I think that's important. But what would be a no-go right away is, of course, if you don't interrupt that much. I would say that's very important. It can also be, it can in a situation you never know, but that's something. Even though business attire get less and less modern, and I mean there are a lot of e-commerce companies or startup companies, and you wear your sneakers. Try not to come with your ugliest jeans or the most worn out jeans. I mean, you can still have this nice classic or not really business attire touch, but I've seen so many candidates go that thought they can come with an XL shirt or something, even when they had only needed medium. Yeah. Don't do that. But also other way around, don't overdo it. So, for
okay.
example, if you need to read about your company where you go, and if you don't know how to present yourself, ask. No one will think why you are asking. Better ask instead to come underdressed or overdressed. So that's also maybe a good one. And yeah, well, basically, I wouldn't ask for the salary question as a first question.
Okay.
I would prepare 3 or 4 questions first. For example, you can ask your hiring manager how he likes the job and why he chose back then to work at this company.
Nice.
So you build a bridge between you both. But don't ask if a hiring manager or recruiter asks for, do you have any other questions? Don't say first salary or work hours. How many work hours? Or can I work from home? Maybe you can ask the other way around, like, hey, I didn't find any information about the package. I don't want to sound too unpolite, but try to not ask directly straight about that. So you can say, what is the common what are the common benefits at this company? So this is what I would do.
Very good.
Yeah, always ask a question. I think that's very important.
Very important.
So never say that you don't have any questions.
Tell me about a time you failed. I never failed.
No.
Do you have any questions? No questions.
No questions.
And the recruiter goes,
Yeah, I would never do that. So always ask at least one question if it's only about the process. Maybe you want to know about the process. Or what I always liked or would like to do or have done, it's also a long time ago, but what the hiring manager actually thought about the interview.
Oh.
Then you know it directly as well from him or her.
Nice.
That's what I've used to do. So I knew already that I was hired by Takeaway now, but it gives you a good idea and a better feeling, because some people are like, oh no, that was so bad, and I don't know what. But with this you can basically, you know it directly.
Exactly. There you go. Thank you very much, Bianca. Thank you for being here, sharing your knowledge, your experience. It's all these little things that help job seekers, like so much for us recruiters. It's little things. It's just like little things, but for them, it's huge. Thank you very much. And
I hope that I can at least with some tips, of course.
Yes. And if you have, do you have any final saying or any final info to give to job seekers?
Yes. So maybe just do it. It's so. I mean. It's a very wrong company, but no, it's really don't think too much about it. Don't overthink it. Everyone is human. Also, of course, you have also your experience, and this makes you strong. And don't undersell yourself. I mean, if you have this experience, and you should be also proud of that. But you shouldn't, an employer should worship you from the first moment. And you should also think about that. You have this quality, and you should believe in yourself and really then go for it. I mean, you don't need only to sell yourself. They also need to sell you the job that you are doing.
Yes. Exactly. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
And see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye bye.
And that's it.